Hey guys, what's going on? So I know I haven't been making videos as often as I should. I've been working a lot more, I've been kind of busy. But we got a video that everybody, I think, at least Ecoboost owners, will think is pretty interesting and helpful. So as some of you know, there's an issue, well, maybe not an issue, but they've revised the low side fuel pressure sensor part. I don't know when it was, but everyone knows that's on the Ecoboost page that Adam Brunson made a post about this multiple times, basically telling you just straight up replace the sensor with the new part. Now right here I have the bag. I got it from Ford. This is the part number, the BU5Z-9F972-B. Screenshot that if you want. That is the new part sensor, or new part number right there. Now I have, this is the fuel rail. This is, well, it's not a fuel rail. This is the piece that usually goes right over here. Other way around. No, usually goes right over here, but I have the ethanol content sensor, so it's not gonna be right there. So I'm just showing you the new part versus the old part, how you can tell the difference. Then we're gonna replace it. Now I've never replaced mine, so it should be interesting either way. Let's see, do I have a spot that I can do this on? Let's do it on my trunk. All right, so new part right here. Oh Jesus, I'm scratching up my car. Old part right here. Now as you can see on the new part, the number, let's see if we could focus, is the part, or it's not a part number, it's an engineering number, but it's -CA. Whereas on the old one it's -BA. And you can tell the old one, you look at the old one right here, okay? Then you look at the new one, and it's got that hole right there. So, I'm not sure what they did to revise it, but it's a revised part. It's definitely worth it to change, in my opinion, because basically what I've seen happen, let me get the camera back over here. What I've seen happen that has been basically because of the sensor is the sensor will fail and it won't read correctly. The car will go lean, and obviously that's going to cause tremendous damage to your engine if not fixed. So it's definitely worth it to replace this part. I got mine for $39. Now you can get it for as cheap as like $20. I just got mine from my local Ford dealer because I'm lazy. Not lazy, I guess. I'm impatient. I don't like waiting for stuff, so I could have ordered it online, could have gotten it cheaper, but I paid $39 at my local dealership. It's not expensive. Order it online from Tasca. I think they have it for like $23. So anyways, let's get to the install. I've never done this before, so it should be a learning experience for me. I will tell you, I've already basically drained the fuel rail, and how you do that, I don't know if I showed that in my video before. There is, I don't have any rear seats. Don't mind how dirty it is. I don't have any rear seats. But back here, let me get a light. Big old flashlight right here. All right. So, I don't have rear seats in my car, so it should be fairly easy. Let's see if we can pull the back seats out, or the bottom of the back seats out. You're gonna find this plug right here. Unplug it. Start your car, it'll run for a little bit and then die. That's so that gas doesn't come spewing out. Now it shouldn't in the first place, but I just did that for peace of mind, just so that I know I'm not gonna get a whole bunch of fuel going everywhere. So let's get to the install. Okay, so basically here's the parts you need for this. 24mm socket right here. If you don't have a 24mm socket, you can always use vice grips. And like I said, I have this extra rail here that originally came on my car. Also, you're gonna want 12 wrench, and that is to hold this. Right behind the sensor is what basically it threads into. And this will go right on there. And then you'll get your socket right here. Put it on there, and that'll hold it when you unbolt it or unthread it. Now, we're actually gonna do it on my car. So hopefully get some real world experience how hard it is, because I have never done it on the car. I did it on that rail. It was very hard to get off, so I guess we'll see how hard it is to get off on my car. All right, so I have my 12mm holding this piece so that I can get my 24 on top of it. It's like this. You can give it some force and start undoing it. The one that I actually had on the car wasn't too hard to undo. Now, like I said, I have the ethanol content sensor, so it's a different kit with these flexible hoses. Yours won't look like this. Yours will be like the one I showed earlier. But either way, it's not too hard of a process, but it is kind of difficult to get off, as you can see. There we go. We're releasing a little bit of fuel pressure there. I did put this rag underneath here just in case fuel starts coming out, even though I already basically drained the fuel rail. So let's just slowly do this. There comes a little bit of fuel. Just gonna let it do its thing. Kind of depressurize. So basically I can hear fuel, a little bit of fuel's coming out. You can hear a little bit of pressure. I just kind of let it sit how it was, depressurize, and start slowly going at it again. Little by little, just don't want any leftover fuel to come flying out of the cart. I did just drive it, so. Oh. There it goes. Got the sensor out. There's a little bit of fuel coming out, so I will use this rag that I put here. Definitely put a rag here unless you want fuel all over your engine bay. I'm going to grab the new part number right here, start threading it in. Now, I want to give a big thank you to Justin Bentley and Mike Coleman, and also John Abrantes, Mr. Abrantes on Instagram, for just giving me some pointers on how to install this, how to, just a couple tips and tricks basically, because I hadn't done it before. I didn't want to do anything stupid. So, but it's a fairly straightforward install. Now, obviously we've got this screwed on. We're gonna tighten it down. There really weren't any torque specs. Basically, tighten it down to about what it was before, or the best you can. I'm just gonna tighten it down, basically as tight as I can get it. And we are going to start the car, make sure a bunch of gas doesn't spew out of it. All right, we got that on. Start the car.
Almost sounded like you actually had muscle.
All right, so now we're going to prime the car a couple times. Now that plug in the back, right here in the back seat behind me that I unplugged, make sure to plug that back in or else your car will not start. But prime the fuel rail a couple times. You'll hear the fuel pump priming. Kind of like a whirring sound almost. Do it like 4 or 5 times because that'll help get fuel back in the rail. Go to start it. And there we go. Car started. Let's go make sure there's not fuel pouring all over the engine bay. Get my light. I don't see fuel pouring all over the engine bay, so should be good to go. All right, guys, so that's the install. Not too hard at all. Definitely something I would recommend to get done because it could seriously damage your engine. Now, it's really easy to do, as I just showed you. I had never done it before, so I mean, someone that's never done it before just did it in probably 2 minutes. It's really something simple that you should definitely do because, you know, you value your engine. You don't want it to blow up, obviously. You want it to live a long life, and the theory right now is that this could have caused a lot of the blown engines that we know in the Ecoboost community. I mean, there's been quite a few. Now, I'm not saying there's, you know, thousands on thousands, but there's been a good handful of blown engines. Let me go out here. It's a little bit cooler outside. But there's been a good handful of blown engines and people that that really didn't know why their engine blew, just blew out of nowhere, blew while they were cruising down the highway. And it very well could have been the sensor. And, you know, it makes sense. This sensor fails, the engine goes lean, you know, you could be cruising down the highway and your engine could blow. So it's worth it, guys. Go pay the 23 bucks at Tasca. I'll link Tasca's down below because it's the cheapest that I've seen. There might be cheaper, but I just bought mine from my local Ford dealership. You can give them that part number that I showed you. Remember, take a screenshot of that part number and you'll be set. Just show them the number. They'll be able to find it. It's the revised part. Good to go. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, if it was helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.